Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. So, once again, I welcome you in our video lecture with the same topic, the fundamental unit of life sale. In my previous video lecture, we have discussed all the points related to sale in our Google Meet. So, first, I will just revise all that point quickly, and then we will start our next point. In my previous lecture, we have discussed about a sale. So, tell me what is mean by sale? Yes, a cell is basic, structural, functional and fundamental unit of life, and all organisms are made up of numerous microscopic units which we call cells. So the word cell is derived from the Latin word cellula, which means little room. So in previous standard also you have studied about characteristics of living things. All living things are made up of cell, and depending upon the number of cells, these living things are classified into unicellular and multicellular organisms. This point also we have discussed in my lecture. So what is mean by unicellular and what is mean by multicellular? Yes, organism which is made up of single cell is called unicellular organism. So amoeba, paramecium and amoeba, paramecium, these are the examples of unicellular organisms. And when we are talking about multicellular organisms, organisms which are made up of many cells, they are called multicellular organisms. Example, all plants and animals, and also we are human beings. So, when we are talking about unicellular organisms, all functions are performed by single cell, and in multicellular organisms, all functions are performed by different cells. So, we all know our body is made up of cells. So, when we are talking about our body is consist of many organ systems. Many organ systems are there like respiratory system, digestive system, blood circulatory system, excretory system. Many systems are there in our body. And when we are talking about organ system, these organ systems are made up of different organs, and these organs are made up of tissues, and tissues are made up of groups of cells. So in this way, cell is the basic and structural unit of life. Means many cells come together to form groups, and when these groups of cells performing same functions, they are called tissues. Tissues comes together to form organs. Organs come together to form organ system, and organ systems come together to form whole organism. That's why cell is called structural unit of life. So also we have discussed about discovery of cell, and also I told you about major landmarks in the discovery of cell. So who discovered cell? Yes, Robert Hooke was the scientist who in 1665 examined a thin slice of cork under primitive microscope. Why that microscope is called primitive microscope? Because that microscope was just made by Robert Hooke. He just observed that cell, that thin slice of cork under his self-designed microscope, and that microscope was not so well developed like our earlier microscope. That's why it is called a primitive microscope. So he observed that cork consists of small box-like structure resembling honeycomb, and he called that boxes cells because in Latin word cellula means little rooms. That's why he just gave name cell to that structure. The substance called cork comes from the bark of tree, and also I told you, as the bark of tree is outermost covering of that plant, all cells from this cork were dead. Means Robert Hooke was the scientist who first time observed the cells, but that all cells were dead. Then who was the scientist who first time observed living cells? Tell me the name of scientist. I told you that name in my previous video lecture. Yes, Anthony van Leeuwenhoek in 1674 he just discovered free living cells in pond water, and he just observed that living cells using improved microscope. Later in 1678 he discovered and observed sperm cells of humans, dog, rabbit, frogs, insects and fish. He was the first one to observe bacteria, protozoan and red blood cells also. So in 1831, Robert Brown was the scientist who discovered nucleus in the cell. Then he is perhaps best known for his discovery of Brownian motion that you will study in higher classes. Then after that in 1839, J. Purkinje was the scientist who first time coined the term protoplasm for the fluid substance present in cell. And then also we have discussed about cell theory in short. So tell me names of the scientists who proposed cell theory. Yes, Sheldon and Schwann was a scientist who in 1839 just proposed cell theory, and cell theory states that all living organisms are made up of cells and cell products. A cell is the structural and functional unit of life. After that, in 1855, Virchow was the scientist who just modified that cell theory, which was proposed by Sheldon and Schwann. He just added some more points into that cell theory. And when we are talking about cell theory, we have to consider all the points which were proposed by Sheldon, Schwann, and Virchow. So togetherly, cell theory states that all living organisms are made up of cells. A cell is the structural and functional unit of life. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. Then life of every organism starts from a single cell. And exception for the cell theory is virus. That also I told you. Viruses are the exceptional case for cell theory. Then how small the cell is, that we are going to study now. So cell size remains constant for a particular cell. It has no relation with the size of an organism. Hence, the size of an organism depends upon number of cells, not on the size of cells. You got it? I will explain by giving example. Larger size of an elephant is due to presence of more number of cells in their body and not because of larger size of cells. Means cells are always of same size. What is the shape of whatever the shape of animal, it doesn't depends upon the shape of cell, it depends upon number of cells. Means larger the animal, larger animal consists of many number of cells, smaller animal consists of smaller number of cells. It depends upon number of cells, not depend upon the size of cell. So tell me what is the size, how you can measure the size of cell. Size of cell is measured in unit micrometer, also it is called micron. So micrometer is the unit which is used to measure the size of cell. So Mycoplasma galliseptium is the smallest cell in the world and it ranges from 0.1 micrometer. Then nerve cell in human being is the longest cell, and an ostrich egg, which is about 18 centimeter, is the largest cell from animals. And when we are talking about plants, ovule of cycas plant is the largest cell from plants. I again repeat, Mycoplasma galliseptium is the smallest cell. Nerve cell in human being is the longest cell. An ostrich egg is the largest cell in animal, and ovule of cycas plant is largest cell of plants. So, what is the advantage of this small size of cell? Why this cell is so small? Why size of cell is small, and what are the advantages of small size of cell? Cells generally have a small size to maintain a large surface area, and also nutrients can diffuse smoothly into the cell. Waste generated due to metabolic activities can easily pass out of the cell. Exchange of gases occurs easily within the cell. In case of any damage to the cell, repair can be done. So why the shape of cell or size of cell is small? Because of smaller size, it is very easy to repair that cell. It is very easy to replace that cell, and also it becomes easy to exchange the gases within the cell. So while we are talking about shapes of cell, there are various shapes of cells, but the shape of cell often related to the different functions they perform. Means the shape of cell is directly related to the function that the cell can perform. I will give you example. You can see here in the diagram many shapes of sails are there, like biconcave, circular, then oval shaped sail is there, also elongated sail is there, branch sail is there. Many types of sail, many shapes of sails are there. You can see in the diagram. So nerve cells are long to conduct nerve impulses from the brain to distant parts of body. That's why it is longer. When we are talking about WBCs are irregular shape like amoeba. Why? Their shape is irregular so that they can squeeze out through capillary walls and of blood vessels. Red blood cells of humans are circular and biconcave in shape for efficient transport of oxygen. When we are talking about plant cells, in plant cells on the surface of leaves, guard cells are present, stomatas are present, and these stomatas are made up of guard cells, and these guard cells are bean shaped cells. Why this shape is like bean? Because it is very easy to open and close that bean shaped cells while gaseous exchange. So shape of cell is related to function of cell which that cell perform in that organism. So today we have discussed about size of cell, shape of cell, why cell has a smaller size, and how shape of cell is related to the different functions performed. Tomorrow we will discuss different parts of cell, or in my next video lecture we will discuss what are the parts of cell and which parts are living and which parts are non-living, and then we will discuss each and every part in detail. Means what is the structure of that part, what is the function of that part, that will we study. We will study that in my next video lecture. Step by step we will study that. I hope you got all points. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you.